Hello everybody and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. This is Season 5, Round 3 action in Division A West with StepDads versus Blasting Burros. Lobby is full, both captains are ready. So we are going to head over to Tomb of the Spider Queen. And I'm your host, Odd Thought, for this 2-game set between StepDads, who are currently 3rd place in Division A West, and Blasting Burros, who are currently 7th place. StepDads have an 11-3 record, Blasting Burros with a 6-6 record. So this should be quite the interesting matchup here. At halftime, we'll look at the rosters and some team stats as well. But for now, how did we get here? Blasting Burros won the coin toss, so they banned Towers of Doom, and StepDads responded with a Sky Temple ban. Then StepDads chose the second map for tonight's contest, which will be Cursed Hollow, and Blasting Burros took us to Tomb of the Spider Queen. That's where we are right now for Game 1. We have the initial 2 bans coming out. Diablo, banned by StepDads, and they're working on their second ban right now. Blasting Burros getting rid of Asmodan for their first ban. So nothing too unusual here to kick things off. See what the second ban is from StepDads. That'll be Urel, so shaping that solo lane a little bit. Urel hopping around a lot, causing all kinds of trouble. Let's get some background music going here. Second ban from Blasting Burros. Blasting Burros will be wearing the red tonight. StepDads will be in blue. And White Mane. White Mane removed from the equation by Blasting Burros. First 4 bans are in the books for this Tomb of the Spider Queen Game 1. Welcome everyone, thanks for joining us. As we get a first pick, Deckard Cain from StepDads. Deckard Cain in Division A West. Doing well. Deckard's included in 9 out of 10 games, according to Stats of the Storm, winning 56% of those.
The crusade, none shall flee my grasp.
Honk Hunter, thank you so much for the bits. Sorry, my chatbot is a little conservative there with the all caps. But welcome. And thank you. First rotation from Blasting Burros includes Johanna and Maev. So Johanna, solid all-around warrior in the league so far this season. 72% popularity with a 51% win rate. Doing well. Maev giving you all those displacements with those tethers, putting out lots of sustain damage. Lit City 9 says StepDads are my real dads. Welcome to chat. Alright, next rotation from StepDads, speaking of whom, we have Blaze and Raynor. So StepDads concerned with that solo lane, getting rid of Urel and picking Blaze. Pretty strong move there. Final ban from Blasting Burros will be Sergeant Hammer. Sergeant Hammer is at 13% popularity in Division A so far this season, but I'm showing undefeated. 1 win. Banned 11 times. Some interesting numbers for Sergeant Hammer. Final ban of the game is going to go to Jaina. Oh, by the way, Raynor. Where's Raynor at these days? In Division A West. Raynor has a 55% win rate. 11 wins and 9 losses for Jimmy Raynor. Stepping up for StepDads. Next rotation for Blasting Burros, Leoric and Junkrat. So we're looking at a Leoric versus Blaze. Perhaps? As this game starts to take shape. Alright, final rotation from StepDads. The Garrosh pick. And Tassadar.
Grant us strength.
So we have a Tassadar Deckard situation going on. Final pick of the game for Blasting Burros is going to be Malfurion, choosing their support last. Malfurion sitting at a 36% win rate in Division A West so far, according to the latest stats that we have. But, you know, you have roots, you have strong heals. We'll see if Malfurion can improve their win rate here for Blasting Burros. Alright, on the left side of your screen is StepDads. We have Valise playing Blaze. Adams playing Garrosh, Tassadar played by Bacon, Deckard played by The Dream, and Raynor played by Bidoms. On the right side of your screen, we have Blasting Burros, Leoric played by Michael, and Johanna played by Tiddly. Justice will be playing Junkrat, Maev played by Pyromantic 1, and Zoo is playing Malfurion. Let's pull up some talents at the bottom of the screen here as we zone into the map. Tomb of the Spider Queen, one of those popular battlegrounds. Small map, tight lane rotations, lots of minion interaction, gathering those gems off the spiders. Junkrat having some fun with the gate here.
Battle begins in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2.
No sprays or anything so far in this first match. Let's see. Yep, both teams will enter the frame here. Easing on down that road in the middle. We get started. Let's look at some talents here. Adrenaline Stim Pack, Warbreaker, Psy Infusion, Sapphire Ace in the hole. Meanwhile, we have Osane Renewal, Tenacious Memento. As a little fight breaks out here, Deckard rooting that Junkrat. And stay down, says Garrosh. Bot lane gets started in earnest as Valise and Michaelin square off. And we have the 4-1 rotation situation. Tiddly gets thrown away by Garrosh. What else do we have here? Shando's Clarity out of Malfurion. Laws of Hope. And put some English on it for that extra travel distance on those pesky Junkrat grenades. Seeing a little bit faster rotation out of Blasting Burros to get this thing started. We're 2-2 on XP level. Everything's looking pretty even so far. Pyromantic 1 securing that bottom camp. Adding a wrinkle to this bottom lane. Also staying down there. It's no longer a 1v1 situation. A 2v1 plus Mercs. Bidoms is going to come down and even this up. As the one of the towers explodes. So pretty good siege progress for Blasting Burros there. A little bit of harassment on Bacon as the rotation continues. Level 4 talents picked up by Blasting Burros. A little bit ahead on XP. Neo-Peasants. We have Blade Dance from Maev. We have Vengeful Roots. So we're going to see the broccoli come out, as some people refer to it. Over here, we have a Bruiser Camp being taken by Blasting Burros. What else do we have? Johanna went with Sins Exposed. And Taste for Explosions out of Junkrat. We're getting ever closer to Web Weavers. There's a Garrosh throw onto Zoo. Drops a root, but's taking a ton of damage and is slowed by Bacon. Raynor is going to secure first blood for StepDads with that Malfurion kill. Nice sequence from StepDads there. They're still about less than half of a level away from being tied up with their counterparts in red. See some level 4 talents from StepDads here. We have Adhesive Petroleum, Indomitable, Kala's Light, Potion of Shielding, and Fighter Flight. As these builds begin to take shape, both teams are qualified for a Web Weaver phase. They have enough gems collected. So we're going to see some increased activity around these eggs as both teams try to secure that first Web Weaver collection. Just checking out bot lane real quick there. Some roots coming out. We have a tether from Pyromantic 1. Garrosh is able to walk away from it though. Level 7 talents achieved by Blasting Burros. Turn-ins still pending. Justice getting displaced a little bit there, slowed by Tassadar. The root will find no one from Deckard King. And it looks like Blasting Burros is able to get the first turn-in here. Red Web Weavers will be descending shortly. Level 7 talents acquired by both teams now. StepDads trailing ever so slightly. Looks like most of the emphasis is going to be on that top lane where the boss lives, but it's moving sort of between the two lanes now. Garrosh throwing the Dream to safety. Nice root there on Bidoms. No further damage is pending though. Pyromantic 1's going to work that top lane while 3 other Blasting Burros support the mid lane Web Weaver. It dies pretty quickly though, but not before 2 towers are destroyed. And the top gate is down as well. There's another Maiev pull in with a root, and that will secure the Jimmy Raynor death. Maiev getting the credit for that kill. Garrosh having to throw Tiddly away. Pyromantic looking for some more action there, but decides to let that one go. Web Weaver's still alive, pushing top lane as that top fort dies. First fort of the game dies. Decent value here out of this first Web Weaver phase. All the gates are gone and top fort is destroyed. Also level 10's acquired by Blasting Burros. 7th place team flexing some muscles over 3rd place StepDads. There's a decent Deckard Cain route. Blasting Burros are going to go ahead and chip away at this mid lane fort here. Zoo popping that Malfurion ultimate, keeping everybody nice and healthy. Tiddly, he's come to take the long way home here. Deckard root will catch Johanna, but a nicely placed mine by Justice will serve as a handy disengage. Neo G, thank you for the bits. Good to see you in chat as always. So decent first sequence here out of Blasting Burros, 10-9 lead. What other ultimates do we have here as this turn-in attempt continues from StepDads? We have the Entomb, we have Warden's Cage, we saw the Tranquility, Blessed Shield, and Riptide. StepDads on the verge of Tenzin, there they are. We see the likes of Lord NATO, we see, Archon, Raynor's Raider, Bunker, of course. Nice stun onto Blaze there. Bunker is going to come out. Riptire also is looking to do some damage, but doesn't really do any. And that's going to be a Junkrat kill. Really good in tune there. Pyromantic getting low. Blaze will fall. Maiev securing that kill. Root onto Deckard Cain as Deckard and Jimmy Rayner have to disengage. But StepDads did secure the turn-in, so the blue web weavers are on the map. Leorc's going to work on top lane. Two members of Blasting Burros decide to move bot where Bidoms is, on the other side of the map. And looks like more StepDads members are going to rotate bot. They think this is where they can get the most value. Blaze does stay in the middle. $11 to $12 in terms of experience. Blasting Burros has extended that lead by basically a level. They've been about a half level ahead for much of the game. So not as much value for StepDads out of their first turn in, but this engage is real. Some oil spill comes out, some Deckard roots. Nice Malfurion cleanse, 2 people released from Deckard's scroll. Some poke coming out from Justice. Both teams, excuse me, do have a turn in. That's why we're seeing so much action around this egg. There's the cage and the Riptire, Lornado. Seeing all kinds of ultimates. The Entomb doesn't really get anybody. StepDads trying to disengage here before they lose any lives. And they do so successfully. Tiddly He sees an opportunity to turn in at the top egg. Just checking out some lane progress here. Level 13 talents acquired as Blasting Burros gets their turn in. We're going to see some red web weavers descending here momentarily. Lornado is used. Just gets a couple of hits though. So let's look at these 13 talents, I guess. We're kind of positioning here, waiting for these web weavers to drop. Looks like Blasting Burros wants to work bot lane. So we're showing Ominous Wraith Bladed Armor as the bot fort dies. Revitalize. For Malfurion, we have Blessed Hammer, and Junkrat has yet to choose for level 13. The other 2 web weavers have been cleared, so all of our action is going to be in this bot lane. Johanna has to use her Iron Skin after being tossed. Tiddly really low. Out comes the Malfurion ultimate again. Atoms gets displaced. Out comes the Riptire, getting some value, hitting multiple heroes. Looks like Blasting Burros aren't done here. They have a 14 to 12 advantage. The Entomb on Garrosh and the Focus Fire. Garrosh down to 100 health, gets tethered back by Maiev. They finally are able to get him. And Blaze will die as well. Lornado sweeps on through, but this keep will fall. First keep of the game taken by Blasting Burros. Enjoy a 15 to 13 lead, getting close to that 16 talent tier. 4 kills to 2 in favor of Blasting Burros as well. They're up 6 buildings to 2 as another fort falls, this time the middle lane fort. And the pressure continues. Level 16 is chosen here. Royal Focus, Armored Assault, Nature's Balance, Holy Renewal, and Junkrat once again taking their time to pick their talent. Blasting Burros finishing off that gate handily enough. 3-level lead. StepDads are going to have to recoup here. They're in top lane. They're thinking about maybe boss. These minions will reveal them. Blasting Burros not too concerned with rushing up there right away. They go ahead and take this bruiser camp and the bottom lane siege camp. StepDads opts for a turn in. They do have web weavers available. Top lane is pushed in pretty well, which is what they were working on a moment ago, no doubt. Prepping that lane for some progress. The other 2 lanes, though, gonna have trouble getting much value out of those. You have a lot of Merc camp activity, and Blasting Burros wisely moves up to top lane, as they know the other 2 lanes are going to be handled pretty well by the Mercs they took. They rotate down to mid. Melt that web weaver. StepDads had to spend most of their time in this bot lane. So the top web weaver is cleared, and that's that for that turn-in. Guess who has a turn-in next? It's Blasting Burros. They have 54 gens in hand with 10 turned in. 15 to 17 lead. StepDads catching up a little bit in terms of power level. Looks like they're going to try to interrupt this turn-in, even though they don't quite have level 16 talents. Figure they can't afford another web weaver phase. The Entomb comes out. Garrosh in a lot of trouble here. 200 health, still alive. The Lornado pushes some Blasting Burros around. Garrosh still trying to survive. Bunker comes down. Warden's Cage as well. Garrosh still alive. Blasting Burros unable to kill him until now. Junkrat finally securing it. Pyromantic won pretty low, but at this point StepDads looks to be in full retreat here. Tassadar getting killed by Johanna. 2 kills to none for Blasting Burros in that engagement. And red team still has a turn in. Whatever shall they do now? As StepDads waits for their teammates to resurrect. There's 15 seconds left on Tassadar's death timer. 3 members of Blasting Burros move up to the boss. So they're going to have that highly desirable boss plus web weaver combo pushing along top lane here. Now Furion goes ahead and uses that ultimate again. His teammates are pretty low. StepDads opt to burn down this bottom lane web weaver first. Raynor is going to check out top lane, but there's not much Raynor can do solo against all of this mess. And now we see the rotation up from StepDads. They have level 16 talents. Same talent tier, folks. Let's see what kind of defense they can mount here as this top keep, which was certainly doomed as soon as the boss web weaver combo started, does fall. Riptire making its way in. The Entomb is out. And Raynor will be the first one to die here, followed up by Blaze. As Blasting Burros pushes onto the court with a almost full health boss. Web Weavers are dead. But you have 3 members of StepDads dead as well, as this core goes down to 0, and that's going to be GG for Blasting Burros in game 1. So, game 1, we have, I think what you would say is an upset. Excuse me. Blasting Burros coming into tonight, as I said, in 7th place with a 6-6 record, taking down 3rd place StepDads. Look out, folks. We have a set on our hands tonight. Can't take anything for granted in these divisions in NGS. They're pretty tightly assembled in terms of MMR and everything. So, and as the season goes on, teams are hitting their stride. Seen a couple upsets on my streams of NGS games, so pretty exciting stuff here. From Blasting Burros, they took the lead early and never relinquished it. We look at some stats here. Couple of standout numbers. We see highest hero damage in the game went to Raynor, actually, with 46k. What was the healing situation? Malfurion with 76k, Deckard with 55. Malfurion died once. Deckard had the only clean sheet on the side of StepDads, no deaths. Garrosh doing pretty well, absorbing 69k worth of damage, only dying twice. But Johanna, 3-6 and nil stat line. Highest siege on the team, highest hero damage on the team, absorbed 82k without dying. Very strong Johanna game from Tiddly there. So there you have it. Game 1 is in the books. Next we'll be heading to Cursed Hall, so I'm going to go ahead and set up that lobby, send you over to some stats that we have compiled here on the 2 teams, along with rosters and some heroes that we may potentially see in game 2. So I'll see you in the draft. All right, hello again, everybody. We are almost done setting up this lobby for game 2. We're going to Cursed Hollow. Looking at some chat here. Richard Gear, the Richard Gear. I'm gonna have to talk to my boy Zoo about this mouth build. Also, Richard Gear, the Richard Gear, loving the stats on the stream. Yeah, it's nice to see where teams are at statistically so far as we can. Stats of the Storm. It's where these numbers are from. Gets updated maybe once a week. I'd like to give a shout out to Falendrith for all of their hard work making that possible. So yeah, pretty big upset in game 1. I wonder what we're going to see in game 2. Could there be a domination for Blasting Burros? Or will StepDads be able to regain their 3rd place form and still get a point out of tonight's match? We're just waiting on one player to join the lobby so we can get into game 2. Thanks for hanging out with us in chat, everybody, and for your patience here. Do we see any unusual heroes on these rosters as we look at these? Wonder if the ETC could be considered unusual. We don't see him played a whole heck of a lot. I guess there's an opportunity on Cursed Hollow for ETC to provide that global at level 10. One never knows. I'm also seeing an Abathur played by Justice. So that could be of interest as we enter this game 2 draft on Cursed Hollow. Looks like all the players are on board. Fun fact for everybody, background music composed by yours truly. You're playing the home game, keeping track of such things. You want me to sing some country music for you? Asks the honors. Might be able to work that into one of these broadcasts. Alright, so let's see if both captains are ready. Looks like Blasting Burros is ready, as is StepDads, so let's go ahead and jump into the draft for game 2. It's going to be on Cursed Hollow.
Cursed Hollow.
All right, so welcome back to me. I'm back on your screen. Isn't that fantastic? And as I said, Cursed Hollow game 2. Cursed Hollow chosen by StepDads. So if they're gonna make a 1-1 out of tonight, they're on their map. Good a time as any. First bans. We see Blasting Burros getting rid of Dahaka, a very popular ban on this map, and StepDad's getting rid of Diablo. These bans are coming fast and furious. They know what they don't want. That includes Genji on the red side. Blasting Burros not wanting to deal with that particular Shimada brother. I often see Hanzo banned on this map too, right? Double boss. Hanzo's strong on that PvE content. And there's that Hanzo ban. First pick, Deckard Cain. So we talked about Deckard before. He's at 29 and 22 with the stats that are available to us in Division A West. 56.9% win rate. But you see Deckard involved in 9 out of 10 games in Division A West. Either picked or banned. He's been banned 29 times, played 51. It's pretty healthy ratio for Deckard, actually. First rotation out of the blue camp, StepDads, picking Yorel and Johanna. And there's that Abathur. That Abathur I mentioned ever so briefly during the halftime show. So Muradin Abathur by blasting Burros. We have a Muradin Johanna frontline interaction. Johanna with the blinds, Muradin with the stuns, the auto attack slows. Interesting that Yorel's making it into the game. Final ban out of StepDads is Jaina. Jaina always deadly, very often devastating, but not this time. I was looking at Yorel here. Yorel has a 46% win rate in Division A West, but she's been banned 33 times, played 39 times, so she's lucky to get through, I guess. Looks like she's the second most banned warrior in this division. This region, rather, of this division. Final ban for blasting Burros will be Sergeant Hammer. Alright, next rotation for StepDads. Looks like they need to pick some support and they need to pick some assassins. We're going to see Maiev and Whitemane. Maiev was doing pretty well in the last game. She has a 75% win rate, by the way, in 12 games, 9-3. She's banned more than she's played in this region of this division. 23 bans, 12 games played. So banned with good reason with that win rate. And Whitemane, 52%. Her win rate's been going up since she became available for play not too long ago. But that does mean 11-10, so it's not that spectacular, but it's definitely serviceable. Final rotation for blasting Burros, we see Zeratul Phoenix, so a little bit of a funky draft with the Abathur Zeratul combo. Phoenix is always going to give you something solid.
The wait is over.
Phoenix at a perfect 50% win rate, 11-11. Cassia, our final pick from StepDads. Cassia 15-13 so far in Division A West with a 53% win rate. So solid pickups here in the final rotations. Embers here likes Burrows' logo. Burrows' logo looking good, they say. Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good. Let's make my way off the screen here. Welcome to Cursed Hollow. Alright, so StepDads in the blue. Valise playing Yorel. Adams playing Johanna. Bacon playing Cassia. Maiev played by Bidhams and Whitemane played by The Dream. Blasting Burros. Phoenix played by Pyromantic. Tiddly on Muradin. Justice playing Abathur. And I didn't catch the last two. I'm gonna have to pull up my screen here. We have Zoo on Deckard. Pyromantic 1 playing Phoenix. StepDad's getting right to business here. Look at this. No middle lane spread. Doing a 1-1-3. Looking to avoid a repeat of what happened in game 1.
3, 2, 1.
Meanwhile, on the right side of the map, blasting Burros with a heart spray coming out. It'll be 4v1. Oh, we could say 5. Justice hanging out right there. On the Space Slug. Bacon, The Dream, and Atoms, which I'm probably saying wrong. Getting some siege. Decabrute catches one of the StepDads. Very swift response here from blasting Burros. But that tower's down to the slightest bit of health. Another bit of Deckard activity there. And these two are going to fight each other to a stalemate in bot lane. Check out these other lanes as the bottom lane cooled down. The first tribute will be bottom lane, by the way. Valise and Michael and duking it out in mid. See some talent choices. Urael going with Murad's Insight. We also have Laws of Hope, Charge Strikes, Nacia's Memento from Maiev, and we have Martyrdom, so we have a Desperate Plea build in the works out of Whitemane. As this bot lane pressure continues, it's real. StepDads want more. They want that other the other tower down. Looks like they're gonna get it unless we have another quick rotation from blasting Burros. Tilly taking a lot of damage. It's gonna have to wait for that second wind to come out. Murden did not invest in third wind. Perfect Storm was picked up. Abathur going for a healing, shielding build so far. Regenerative Microbes. We have Scroll of Identify, Arsenal Synergy, and Greater Cleave. Level 4 talents picked for both teams. This time, StepDads has a lead. The Dream in trouble. Pyromantic joining the party, but it's going to be Zeratul securing the Whitemane kill. That's going to be first blood for blasting Burros. It's going to help them catch up on XP. About a quarter of a level down. First tribute is spawning in 15 seconds. Expect to see both teams assemble here. Abathur's hanging out top lane. Valise trying to channel the first tribute. Michael and pestering. Tiddly moving in. Out comes another scroll from Deckard. The Fend doing tons of damage. Maiev finishing that kill on Muradin. And blasting Burros is gonna have to retreat. First tribute goes to StepDads, and this bottom lane pressure continues. I feel like I've said that a number of times in this game so far. It's a two-person route from Zoo on Deckard Cain. This fort is down to maybe a little above 50% here. Pyromantic doing their best to dissuade any further progress. StepDads back up just a little bit, but not too much. Top lane.
Heroes slain.
That's going to be an Abathur in trouble there. But it's actually Zeratul who dies. StepDads will not take no for an answer on this bottom fort. They go ahead and secure it. Zoo just walks away. There's nothing that can be done there to save that. Deckard looped around, tossed a scroll out. Second tribute. Looks like it's going to be pretty safely and easily secured by StepDads, who enjoy an 8-7 lead. It isn't a huge lead though. Blasting Burros are pretty close in XP still. Blasting Burros also secured a Merc Camp's going to be marching down this middle lane. Tiddly goes in, gets the stun on Whitemane. We're seeing some pretty decent support here. Bacon with the Fend, getting some good value there. But the camp dissolves after a little bit of time there. Couldn't really get onto that gate very much with that push. It looked promising. 9-8 is our current XP levels, as this is a curse point here. Full-on engage has started. Another triangle from Deckard. Tiddly gets pulled by Maiev. There's action all over the place in this jungle area. Tiddly is very low. The root, really good root there, interrupting Bidhom's. But it looks like the first curse is going to StepDads. Nice move by Bidhom's there. Get a little bit of a tether on Pyromantic. He's going to have to teleport to safety, but it isn't the safety. Still lots of blue health bars around, and that will be a kill on Phoenix. 3 kills to 1 in favor of StepDads as top fort is blown up. We're in the 6th, well, almost the 7th minute, and StepDads are already pressing onto Keep Gate in this top lane. Tiddly here with an interesting approach into this team fight. And just as Ball Lightning came out, we have a pause. Pyromantic 1 pausing the game. We have a disconnect from Muradin, so that would explain the interesting pathing. Seven minutes in, so much happening already. Blasting Burros. Looks like we might be ready for the countdown. We have one captain giving us the R. In the meantime, we have ultimates to look at. We have Ardent Defender, Blessed Shield, Ball Lightning, which we saw pop just before the pause, and we're about to go back in. I was about to do the countdown, and then there was a never mind from a player, so I'm just going to make sure both captains are ready before we restart here. Okay, it looks like we're good. And here we go, folks. Let me go back to this top lane. Tiddly he rejoins, but Robot Muradin did end up dying. So that was a very unfortunately timed disconnect there for blasting Burros. That keep was likely to fall anyway, it looked like. StepDads now taking this blue boss. Blasting Burros. Don't like the look of that though, they're moving on in. Let's see if we can get a... They're thinking about maybe a throw pit situation here. Tiddly low, 400 health on Muradin. Void Prison comes out. Puts a little pause in the action. Decker Cane Root into the Planet Cracker. Hero slain. That's going to be Whitemane dying. Ball Lightning coming out. Muradin will die. Have some tethers. Deckard Root and Cassia has to say bye-bye for 20 seconds. Ooh, and a Zeratul kill on Johanna. Bidhom's running for their life here. Not much mana to speak of, but is able to get away. Boss defended. It's 5v4 for the next couple of seconds here. So Blasting Burros will go ahead and work on their boss camp. I wonder if we'll see, and yes, movement from StepDads toward their boss. They don't want to lose map tempo completely. They can burn this boss down real quick. It'll even out the map. (13 to 12) experience level in favor of StepDads. Level 13 talents chosen by the team in blue as they secure their boss almost simultaneously as Blasting Burros did theirs. Tribute spawned in the lower right. A little bit of a camp invade here, just a solo camp invade. Of course it's URL, so you have a lot of movement and survivability. Just kind of poking around, seeing what's possible as this blue boss marches onto Keep Gate. Just listening to the glorious sounds of battle here. As that gate does fall, the boss is at 50%. We have a Lornado doing a lot of work on a couple of StepDads there. Ball lightning comes out again. We have a Fend, and that's going to be a Muradin death. Whitemane getting credit for that. We also see Warden's Cage coming out and Void Prison. And that's going to be a dead key bot lane. Abathur put their mule on that keep at the last moment there. Wasn't enough. Abathur doing a pretty decent job of getting more value out of this top lane push. And the tribute is finally secured. StepDads up 1-0 on tributes. Tiddlyhee looking for a play here. Leaps in. Stun goes awry though. And there's a little bit of a taunt action coming out. We're seeing the beginnings of a little bit of a rivalry here. Some fun interactions there. Zeratul trying to cause some problems. Has to blink away. Here's a nice camp invade by Blasting Burros. They do secure that camp. Bacon having to contend with that whirling dervish of books. Sometimes knowledge hurts. Tribute is going to be in the upper left this time. 5 seconds away from that manifesting. Blasting Burros has had a bit of a problem getting these tributes secured. Let's see if they can get one. 2 different fights going on here. Myclin having to run away, low health. Muradin having a real tough time staying alive so far in game 2. Zeratul will fall as well. Void Prison was used. Justice gets clone out, it's tethered and destroyed. And we have a disengage from Zoo. That will be a second tribute for StepDads. They're up 16-14. Haven't had a chance to look at any talents. There's been so much going on. We're only in the 13th minute of this game. StepDad's saying, hey, we picked this map for a reason. There's a little stun on Maya there as StepDads invades this siege camp. Blasting Burros sense that something is amiss and they move down. Ooh, that could have been a dangerous move there. Planet Cracker. Cassia falling. Valise super low. That will be a Yrel death. That's 2 kills to 1 in favor of Blasting Burros. It's not over yet though. The Dream in trouble. But that Whitemane is difficult to kill. It'll be Zeratul who falls instead. Not only did the Dream not die, they notched a kill against wily Zeratul. Finally Whitemane dies. That's a Deckard kill on Whitemane. Who's top healer, says Deckard. And Muradin gets a kill on Maiev. The bloodbath continues. Tiddlyhee low on mana, so is Atomsk. Meanwhile, so many catapults on the core. It's down to 26%, friends. That was a very expensive bit of team fighting for Blasting Burros. They're down to 20% on that core. 3 members of Blasting Burros having to deal with their base. 17-17. But
My curse upon
red team is cursed. Blasting Burros is cursed for the second time. StepDads kind of hanging out on their side of the map. Tiddly moving in. More team fighting going on here. Getting some okay value from Pyromantic's ultimate there. And more deaths cascading out. Whitemane, Zeratul. 3 kills. 4 kills for StepDads. Blasting Burros able to take down Cassia and Whitemane. But StepDads are going to go ahead and move on into this core as the curse continues to work in their favor. Core's down to 4%, 1%, 0. GG! As StepDads evens up the score. They finish game 2, 16 kills to 10 in their favor, to earn a draw on the evening, refusing to suffer a domination at the hands of Blasting Burros, winning the map that they chose, and quickly. It's not a long game. Honk Hunter in chat saying StepDad's king of the sub 15 cursed match. Certainly worked out there. Just looking at some numbers here real quick. I wasn't even able to look at the talents very much in that game. It was so quick. So I'll go ahead and switch to the talents in just a moment. Thanks again, everybody, for joining us for this 2-game set. This is Division A West. We're seeing the 3rd place team square off against the 7th place team. Blasting Burros taking game 1. StepDads responding with a game 2 victory. Let's look at the talents here. I'll try to set up a conversation. Looks like Valise wants to jump in here. So let me hop into a lobby and get a conversation going with Valise.
How you doing?
Hey, this is Bidhoms actually.
Yes, this
Very
is
cool.
for the interview, I assume.
Yes.
All right,
So-
sweet.
All right, so how are you feeling after that set?
The set was good. I mean, not what we wanted. We wanted the 2-0 naturally. They're a really good team. We knew that going into this. I'm happy that we were able to come around after the first game and play something strong in the second one.
Yeah, a little bit of an upset perhaps in game 1.
Yeah,
Since
I
you're
mean,
coming in 3rd place and they're 7th, so
okay. Well, first of all, aside from that loss today, we should be in 2nd place because we 2-0'd Balloon, but it's in alphabetical order. I'm pretty sure since we had the same record up until today, but now we have a loss,
Right.
so we'll probably be in 3rd. Yeah, a bit of an upset. I mean, they're a solid team right now. Like their record probably doesn't show how good they are. I've watched a lot of their games and they've had a lot of close ones, even with the tough teams. So. We knew it was going to be a battle, but I'm happy to get at least one win out of it.
yeah, the sample size is somewhat small. I mean, the season isn't terrifically long, right? So it can be hard to sort of judge, exactly where other teams are in terms of, gaining that cohesion as we go deeper into the season. So
yeah,
maybe you can walk us through how you moved from that into game 2. Maybe some behind the scenes.
I don't know. I guess it's just my mentality. I think just going into game 1 in general, we were not surprised that they picked the map because they hadn't. I don't know if they've picked it before, but we were expecting them to pick something else. So we kind of had a different game plan going in. They picked this map, and our game plan wouldn't have worked on there. So we were kind of just scrambling in draft, which was definitely a different scenario. In the second game, we knew what our game plan was. We had, this is our comp, this is our plan going into that. So I think a little bit of unsureness in the draft lobby, and we started falling behind a little bit early game in the first game because of wave clear issues. Just kind of put us in a mental slump a little bit. But coming into game 2, we knew this is our map. This is something we know we have multiple game plans for. Right. We're comfortable with, regardless of what they throw at us.
Yeah, we could really see that just from the start, how you had that pressure in bot lane with 3 people, and it was unrelenting. They would come in and sort of dissuade you for a bit, but you just kind of hang out in a bush for a minute, and then you're right back at it. So,
yeah, we were just looking to get permanent damage. We knew that, but there was probably going to go Mule, so just looking to get as much permanent damage as possible in the early game, definitely.
Yeah, when you saw the Abathur Zeratul comp, which is somewhat unusual in my experience anyway, casting NGS games, did that affect your approach at all, or you're just going to stick with your plan?
We stuck with our core 4. We were flexing the last pick. We thought Cassia was a good choice in general, both in comfort and in countering their comp. Plus the synergy with Johanna. I think the Zeratul was only surprising in the fact that it didn't provide as much wave clear. Or Zeratul succeeds on comps that he doesn't need to clear the wave, where he can just focus on roaming and picking. Okay. And since he had to clear the waves, it didn't make us too uncomfortable in the draft, because we thought, Deckard Murden, that's not a whole lot of wave clear. Zeratul's going to have to be clearing these waves. He's going to be showing a lot because of that. So we're not going to be too worried about it.
Right. Well, I've been asking this lately of teams, if we have viewers who maybe aren't familiar with your team yet, I was wondering if you could tell us kind of like how you got into season 5, a little bit about your team.
Sure. I'm actually probably the worst person to tell you this because
it can be
I'm brand new.
Quick overview.
Yeah.
Well, that's a part of the story, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm brand new. StepDads was a team last season, also in Division A, I believe. But they added more seasons, so I think they were hoping to get into Heroic.
More divisions, yeah.
There's more divisions in season 5, so I think they were hoping to get into Heroic. But we got placed again in season 5, which I think is it's tough to find that middle ground between being a top team in Div A or a middle of the pack team in Heroic.
Right.
But there's Dream and I are both new. Bacon, Adam, and Felice is the captain. Are veterans. They've been playing together for quite some time. I think Bacon and Felice have been playing together for multiple seasons, and I think Adam only had last season, maybe one more with this team. So the core of the roster has been there. They have a lot of game knowledge, which has made my job a little bit easier. So I joined as just like the ranged player in general, and they were kind of like hesitant on shot calling, so I kind of took that role in just general macro shot calling, which helps me a lot because they have so much game knowledge that I don't have to worry about drafting, and I don't have to worry about what counters who or anything like that. I can just see what my cards are dealt and call the game as is.
And you're already taking the interview reins as well.
Yeah, we've been doing a round robin actually on interviews. So we've actually missed 2 interviews, which we're kind of upset about. 2 of our last 2 games actually, our last 2 wins. In the second game, the caster, it was super late, and the caster was like, "I'm going to bed, guys. Have a good night," and just
there's no real standard really. So. Yeah. I like to interview both captains actually in draw situations.
No, I would definitely, I would definitely do the same if I was a caster. I mean, I feel it's a little unfair just to interview one team on a draw. Like I said earlier, they're a great team, and hearing their input's definitely useful for everybody.
That might still happen. We shall see. But you know what your next game is? What's next for you?
So this is it for us this week. We had only a
Okay.
2-game week. Coming off a couple of vacations, we're gonna scrim hard, and I'm really hoping we play Archetype this week coming up, or this phase coming up.
Mm-hmm.
They're number
That'll be
one.
huge. You're right.
Yeah, they're number one right now. We're more than happy to take that seat from them.
All
They're a bunch
right.
of they're a good group. We've
I like
scrimmed them.
the chutzpah.
Yeah, they're a good group. We scrimmed them a bit, but we're excited and we're coming for them.
Nice. Well, I guess we can wrap up by. Do you have any shout outs you like to give?
Just shout out to my team. It's Adam, our tank player's birthday. So shout
Happy
out to him
birthday
for
to you.
yeah, exactly. He turned 53 today, so he's actually why we're the stepdads. He's super
Awesome.
old and has a stepdad of his own. So yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to Dream for always having amazing heels, and then Blease and Bacon there, whatever.
Oh yeah, there's a shout out in the chat just now. That white mane healing was mental. So
Yeah,
the dream is real.
Yeah, the dream is real. His white mane
checks
heals
out.
always surprise me. So
Nice. Well, hey, thanks for taking this time to chat with me for a bit, and congrats on the 1-1, and good luck in the next round.
yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for casting. It's always great to hear your input when we're watching afterwards.
Happy to.
Good luck. Thanks.
Thanks. Cool. So that was Bidhoms from StepDads, and I wonder if I can get interview with Blasting Burros real quick here too. As I said, if it's a draw situation, I like to get a little bit of input from both captains. So let's see if we can make that happen. I'll type as fast as I can. But yeah, pretty fantastic output from Whitemane, as was noted by Lit City 9 in chat. She looked near death there, and that last altercation that was going on near bot lane. Not only did Whitemane survive, but I seem to remember Zeratul ended up dying. So that's one reason why you see Whitemane bans quite a bit. I'm not sure if we'll get the second interview. So I'll just give my shout outs in the meantime while we wait just another moment here. So thank you everyone for watching. Very much appreciated. I will have another game tomorrow night. I'm casting a really late one, actually, in Division C West. So I should be doing that. I think the game's scheduled for 9, although it sounds like it might be pushed a little bit later even, to maybe 9:30. Oh, looks like, okay, good. We do have someone from Blasting Burros. Who am I talking to here?
This is Powermantic 1. Sorry for just dropping in here.
Oh, no, that's fine. I just was in a different window, so I didn't have your... All right, Pyromantic 1, welcome. Congrats on the 1-1 draw against the third place StepDads.
Thank you.
How are you guys feeling after that? I know
Well,
game 2 was a bit rough, but
Yeah,
we can
after
dwell
game
on
one,
the
we felt great.
yeah.
It felt good to win.
Right.
Game 2
Should still feel pretty good though, right?
Oh,
Overall.
overall, I can't speak necessarily for my whole team.
Sure,
I know
sure.
I'm just kind of a little frustrated and disappointed in my performance and what I know we can do.
Hmm.
They played it really well. The more frustrated I get, the better they played, because as a compliment to them as I get more and more angry. But
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, it's just, I know I could have done a lot better, and there were some misplays across the board that were just really, they capitalized on them so well. We were behind and further behind and further behind, etc.
Well, let's talk about the Halcyon days of game 1 then. So I don't know what really sticks out to you from game 1. I guess we'll just start there. What were your favorite aspects of game 1?
Sure. So I don't know what it is, but we just feel really good macro-wise on that map.
Hmm.
And most of the games we play, we always feel like we've macroed correctly as just overall. And then the ones where we've lost, it's often in team fights that we take a fight that we don't need to, or we go in it in a weird way, or someone's overextended trying to macro their heart out. So I think that's a really great like groundwork for us on that map. And then from a macro advantage, we take advantageous fights, we make more timings on camps or bosses, etc., and then wait for the enemy to make a mistake. So that often works pretty well, I think, to just be in a winning position and wait for them to come to you.
Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your team's mentality going up against the third place team.
So I'm just a lowly assassin player.
Well, from your perspective.
From my perspective, I had no idea what place they were.
Oh, okay.
I learned the name of the team in the lobby, and then
so no fear going in, which is
that's not how I really work. I try to get a general sense, but for some reason it didn't happen today, and just gonna do my best and try to respect them independent of how highly placed they are.
Nice. It's sometimes if you go up against like a team that has a better record or something, there can be some intimidation factor or whatever. And I was just wondering, because it didn't seem to have been in play at all for you guys in game one. You just came out and did your thing. So I was just curious about that, if there was any kind of sense.
Yeah, fair question.
So something else I asked, I just had a conversation with Bidhoms from StepDads. So, and I've been asking this question lately about if people are unfamiliar with your team, maybe you can tell us a little bit about how you came to season 5 and how your season has been going so far.
Absolutely. So we are Blasting Burros. The Burro is the mascot of the Colorado School of Mines, which is where we all attend college.
It got that mascot or the logo got a shout out in chat, by the way.
Oh,
so
nice.
It's a popular bit of art there.
Yeah. And we all met for the dorm season last year.
Okay.
Just kind of everyone came together, put out a post for looking for dorm players, and then that's how we all initially met, played dorm. We played NGS last season, and then we returned again for this season. That's that's the
nutshell. Okay, very cool. Well, I won't keep you forever. It's getting kind of late. So do you have any shout outs you'd like to give before we end?
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to my team. They're great. We have a great dynamic. I'm really grateful to play on a team with all of them. We're never too toxic to each other, only in the most productive ways. And then shout out to you for casting, for sure. Thank you for taking time out of your evening and showing the world our game.
My pleasure.
And shout out to a person who's helped us a lot overall, which is a person named Time. He is on TMG currently. TMG Time has helped us a lot throughout the months.
All right, very cool. Well, thanks for taking this time to chat with me a little bit.
No problem.
And congrats again on the taking that point off third place team. And do you know what do you have any more games this round, or what are you doing next?
Like I said, I'm a lowly assassin.
Okay.
I can check my calendar, but I don't know much of anything. That's a Michael question.
No worries. That information can also be found on the website, no doubt. So
True.
Right on. All right. Well, thanks again, and good luck to you in the rest of the season. Looking good.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good night.
You too. Thanks. Smack and stacking. Good to see you. Yes, it's hot. So, all right, folks, that's going to end our broadcast day. Ordinarily, I would raid another game, but I think we're among the last of the games on the NGS docket tonight. So, just give some final shout outs from me. I want to thank NaOG, Honk Hunter, for the bits. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate that. I also want to thank all of you for hanging out and making this fun. It's good to see all the chat going on. And as I said earlier, I have another game coming up that I'll be casting tomorrow. It'll be in the 9 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time region. So look for me there. It'll be a Division C West game. Outside of that, thanks again, everyone, for watching. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.